We got us a corpse and cartridge occasion.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to talk about a developer for Tekken 8, or who used to work for Tekken 8. He tweeted about the update, he tweeted about the game, and he eventually deleted the tweet. You know, this update that they just released was a great one. It's being said by a lot of people as the greatest update for Tekken, the best update for Tekken 8. It is a great update. There's a lot of things that they did well. They really tackled Heat in a lot of ways, but also there's more work to be done. There's more things that they need to kind of address, and we're hoping that they'll do that in a future update, right? We know that the developer said that they will do more updates, and I think now a lot of people actually have faith in them to do good updates, and I think it came at a perfect time because the conversation surrounding this game was getting grim. And something else that I think is worth mentioning is I know a lot of people are fearing and dooming Kunimitsu, but keep in mind what happened in season 2. After the backlash, the developers started to change directions. With Fakamram as a character who was doomed really hard, he came out to be one of the best, funnest characters, right? And then same thing with Armor King. And even though people don't like Marizu, she still is nowhere near Anna. And I think if they continue that trend that they had with the previous 3 DLC with Kunimitsu, but then also the patch that released alongside of her, if they continue what they're doing now, this game will be in such a great state. Nerf King, nerf Brian Fury, Leo, Victor, a couple other characters, and we could be in a good position. The tweet comes from this developer here. The bio says key works are Mega Man, Final Fight, Super Street Fighter 2, Tetris, Grandmaster, you have Tekken 3D Prime, Tetris 99, Pac-Man 99, and then it says Tekken 8 Matchmaking Network Code Advisor. This person has spoke at length before about how netcode is pushed to the absolute maximum, and they really can't do more because of the way that the game is designed with like just frame inputs. Now, some people kind of took that explanation he gave and kind of wrote it off. They were like, this is just an excuse. Some people accepted it because it sounded like an actual technical difficulty that can't be overcame. In my opinion, at times when I'm going up against someone who has trash Wi-Fi, yeah, the game lags all over the place. Other than that, I think the game has significantly improved in terms of like netcode. Like you find matches faster. The matches are more consistent from what I could tell. I rarely get booted out of matches now, so it seems like he did the best that he can, but maybe I'm just delusional. You guys let me know in the comment section. But when this update dropped, update 3.0002, he put out a tweet and then later deleted it. As you can see here, this is the screenshot. As you can see here, this is where the tweet should be. This page doesn't exist. Try something else. Now, we took a screenshot before this tweet disappeared, so I'll read you guys what it says. So the tweet translated says, since my contract with the Tekken 8 team has concluded, and speaking strictly while upholding the confidentiality regarding the insights I gained during my work there. This guy has been working on the game since the launch, right? And he's done a lot of work with the netcode. He's been working hand in hand with Harada, Nakatu, all of those guys. So he's basically saying that it's over. The second part of this tweet says, I have to say, I'm genuinely surprised by these balance adjustments as they are completely unfamiliar to me. He says, note, I graduated from the team at the same time as Mr. Harada. Harada left the company, and this guy was in a lot of pictures. Maybe, when you look at the pictures of Harada, you see like a bunch of people in the background. He was one of those guys in the background. So I guess when Harada was leaving, this guy left as well. And at the time when he was working there, this update that they just released was not in development. So Harada probably was surprised by this too, right? But that brings up the question, where did this update come from then? This update from this developer here was like a last minute thing that they did before the tournaments got going. And that is pretty interesting because if you think about what happened as season 3 was launching, they did the whole back to basics thing. They had to walk that back. They had to put out this statement saying, actually, we're not going back to basics. When the update came out, it was ridiculed on Steam, on Twitter for not doing enough. A lot of people were saying they're quitting, they're over it, they're done. It basically resulted in another kind of like mini review bomb. You can see it here where this is the season 2 review bomb, 5,000 negative reviews. That's a lot. And then the season 3 is 1,000 negative reviews. So a little bit later, the next time period, they come with this quick update. And this update, it does seem like they're kind of giving up on their pursuit of like chasing after the casuals. They reduced the skill gap. They put comeback mechanics all over the place. I often would say this, but name another fighting game that has 4 comeback mechanics. Tekken 8 did everything it could to bring in a casual audience. And from what I could see, the people who play this game casually or show up to the franchise and they're new, they kind of like it. But the issue is that the core audience is so upset and we could create so much noise and it offsets that. This is someone who's new to Tekken. Bro's just a variety streamer. But listen to his perception of the game.
Don't worry. I'll see you at the conventions. Do you guys go to conventions? And how do you feel about Tekken right now? Because a lot of people that are good at the game, I feel like everybody that's good at the game complains OD. They're like, yo, it's really bad right now. Da 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 da.
No one really wants to play a game where everyone is talking trash constantly, even the people who love that game. There was points of time during the backlash where people were getting sick of people complaining about it. And this is how, chaotic it got, to where they tried to go all in on this one thing and it just wasn't going to work because the core audience wasn't going to let it work. And there was some people who were even saying, like, I would rather this game die than let the casuals take it, right? So you can see how intense of a situation it was. And with season 3, we were seeing this kind of finality of it where a lot of people weren't even angry anymore. They were just depressed, done, sad, whatever word you want to put on it. They were leaving. It was a real somber, dreadful feeling. And I think the developers finally caved and was like, okay, we tried to do this madness and it's just not working. We cannot sit a whole year again. We have to do something different. He responded to Miharu-san before the tweet was deleted and says, you didn't know about the latest patch notes at all. That means maybe it was an update that was hastily implemented in response to the community's request. If you even look at what they said in the patch notes, they specified, since this update is coming so quick and they're pushing it out so fast, there's some things that can't be done in it. Never before out of my whole entire time covering Tekken and like any video game period did I see them say, we changed these things about the game, but we didn't have enough time to change it in practice mode, in the tutorial, and other game modes. So it's going to display the incorrect data and it's not going to display the proper properties. And that just shows you how quickly they were moving to get this out. And I think that also kind of speaks to them really being serious about trying to save this game. Like I said, they tried with the casual stuff and it didn't work, and now they are letting it go. And if they continue down this road, because they got a lot of positive reinforcement from the player base, there was a couple of people on Twitter who was like, oh, my character's dead. But I think even those people got enough backlash to where even if the developers did see that tweet, they would have saw a lot of people saying, shame on you, don't do this, the game is better because of this update, blah blah blah, right? There's a lot of counter arguments. So even if developers did see those, they saw the wave of people defending the update, and that should be like motivation for the developers to continue. But they got to make sure that they do it evenly across the board. They cannot allow certain characters to go unnerfed over and over and over again, because they're going to be monsters in comparison. Miharu-san responded to Dell and says, why do you think I know that? I have no idea why it turned out that way either. So he is completely clueless about what they're doing, and it just shows how quickly, for whatever reason, the developers shifted gears. They would never just commit to the idea of nerfing, but this is the first patch ever where they did nerfs and only that.